Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to talk about this article I've been studying about housing and the high cost of housing and how it's affecting renters. We can't even afford to buy a house because we can't even afford to rent. But yet we tell people, save your money, but you can't save any money if your rent is $3,000 a month. The mortgage is $4,000, $5,000 a month. Where does it end? But this article is called Out of Reach, the High Cost of Housing. And it was the report was done last year. And it was done by the Organization for National Low Income Housing Coalition. And I never even knew there was such a department, but they are. The National Low Income Housing Coalition, established in 1974 by Cushing N. Dolbear. The National Low Income Housing Coalition is dedicated solely to achieving socially just public policy that assures people with lowest income in the United States have affordable and decent homes. Now that's what they're dedicated to do, but that dedication doesn't seem like it's coming for the low income. NLIHC, that's the National Low Income Housing Coalition, educates, organizes, and advocates to ensure decent, affordable housing within healthy neighborhoods for everyone. Now, that is what they advocate. Have anyone gotten any education? I'm a real estate consultant, and I'm consulting you on this matter, and I've never been educated on the National Low Income Housing Coalition that organizes and advocates to ensure affordable housing. So when I meet buyers who want to buy a house and they can't afford it, I never was told about this. But they help people with affordable housing within healthy neighborhoods for everyone. The National Low Income Housing Coalition, NLIHC, provides up-to-date information, formulates policies, and educates the public on housing needs and the strategies for solution. Permission to reprint portions of this report or the data therein is granted, provided appropriate credit is given to the National Low Income Housing Coalition. They have all this information, but it's hidden. And if you don't go and research what is out there, you'll never know. So we're just feeling around in the dark. We have to shine a light on these different department organizations. And I'm giving you this information as a consultant, but I want you to feel empowered to go out there and get the information. If they say they will provide up-to-date information and formulates policy and educates the public on housing needs and the strategies for solution, and they're giving us permission because they reprint portions of this report or data therein is granted and given to us, through the National Low Income Housing Coalition. Additional copies of the Out of Reach, this is the name of this report, are available from NLIHC, the National Low Income Housing Coalition. So when you read this report, it breaks everything down by state, and the people who were on this report are Andrew Arad, he's a PhD in the MSW, Daniel Emmanuel, he's an MSW also. And Diane Yentel, also a MSW. Ellen Erico, Creative Services Manager. And Marjorie Pang, Research Intern. She probably did all the work. Anyway, so it gives you a table of contents. It tells you everything you need to know about why we're out of reach. And the preface by Congressman Keith Ellison, U.S. House of Representative. He is talking about an immigrant who's in Minnesota, who come here. Half of their salary is going towards rent. They just got their citizenship, so they think they're going to get a piece of the American pie, which is home ownership and everything, the education, everything that goes along with that. But they have to rent, and the rent eats up first. It takes everything. So before diapers for the baby, before medicine, before food, and a rainy day fund to save to buy a house, the rent got that. They're not alone. Affordable housing crisis is hitting middle class, poor, rural, urban people of all ethnicities, cultures, faith, and communities. Across the nation, millions of America's family are struggling to pay their rent each month. Growing numbers of low-income seniors, people with disabilities, families with children, and their vulnerable people have more month than money. The problem is systemic, and it's reaching almost epidemic proportion. Rents are soaring in every state and community at the same time, when most Americans haven't seen enough of an increase in their paychecks. The result? More than 7 million extremely low-income families do not have an affordable place to call home, and 500,000 people are living on the street in shelters or in their cars on any given night. The human toll this places on families through stress and job loss are extraordinary and well documented by Harvard socialist Matthew Desmond and his recent book, Evicted: Poverty and Profit in an American City. Despite the declared need, Congress has failed to address the affordable housing crisis in the country. Why? Because Donald Trump and his guys, his boys, they're looking at profit over humanity. Long as they're making money, they're buying buildings, renting, renovating, they're taking over communities, and everybody's making money except for the poor people, and they don't have any place to move to or live once they're displaced. Because of the chronic underfunding of affordable housing, 3 out of every 4 families go without housing assistance they need. Families wait for years on waiting lists before they see any assistance whatsoever. This is unacceptable. It is, but we have to accept it because that's the reality. We can and must do better as a nation. Now, this is a representative, Keith Ellison, saying this. It's unacceptable, but what you gonna do about it? You have the power to make it change. Otherwise, we have to accept it. You're making a salary. You have a home for your family. The most shameful part of this fact that we already have the resources and the solutions needed to effectively end homelessness. and housing poverty for millions of families. We do? Wow, we just need the political will to do what is right. Now we know with this administration, the political will is to do what is necessary to make money, not to do what is right. So I don't know who this dude is talking about. And if you ain't gonna come out and blast Trump for what he's not paying attention to, the citizens of America who doesn't have affordable housing, and he's not talking about that. He's talking about making money, big business. If you're not gonna call him out, talking about it doesn't make any sense. Each year, Congress spends about $200 billion to help house American families. A full 3/4 of these resources go to help subsidize the homes of the richest family through the mortgage interest deduction and other homeowners tax benefits. So you see, that's where the money is going. You first have to afford to buy the house to get the benefits of the money that's allocated in the low housing fund for poor people. And the houses medium range is like 650 in California. So if you can't afford and get your credit together to buy a house, you're not going to see any of this 200 billion resource for housing. Something is misdirected here. And I wonder how it got misdirected. So the richest family gets the benefit through tax benefits. This means that we provide more housing assistance to help the richest 7 million households who earn more than $200,000 a year than to help the 55 million households that earn less than $50,000 a year each year, even though these families are far more likely to struggle to keep a roof over their head. In fact, we spend about $11 billion each year to subsidize housing for the top 1% at the very time that millions of families are being turned away from getting the help they need because Congress claims we cannot afford it. You see how that game is played? They give us the money, but we don't get it. And then when we say, hey, we can't afford, we can't afford to live. Our money is going, all our money is in rent. We don't have food. We have nothing, no money left after we pay rent. Well, we can't afford to help you, so you're going to have to figure it out, you know. This is wrong, but Congress has the opportunity to fix it through comprehensive tax reform legislation, which Trump ain't gonna do. So we're gonna have to ride this out, and then hopefully he will not be voted in a second term, but I think he will, which remains a top priority for Congress in the White House. That's not the Congress's top priority. Congress' top priority is to keep their job and not piss off Donald Trump because he is treacherous if you go against him, and everybody's scared. That's why this man has put a plan to rebalance and scarce housing resources to increase investments in proven solutions for those who need it the most. Really? What is it? The Common Sense Housing Investment Act. That's HR 948. Reforms the mortgage interest deduction so that it better serves low and moderate income homeowners and reinvest the savings to help more families struggling to pay their rent. Do you really think that that's going to fly in the way that this system is working in 2018? This is all just fluff, paperwork. Yeah, it's good that you thought up a solution, but is it going to go through? Hell no. Hell no. All white men are running it. All white billionaires are running it. They don't care nothing about low income people who can't make no money, disenfranchised, marginalized people. They looking for to try to come up. We ain't trying to help nobody come up. We only helping the people who are already up. It's just ridiculous. In fact, he goes on to say, under his plan, 15 million more homeowners who currently do not benefit from a mortgage interest deduction will see a much needed tax break. More than 241 billion will be reinvested to make rental homes affordable to people with the greatest needs. That's really nice, but it's not going to fly because we're dealing with Donald Trump and his cronies. We're in the swamp. You talking about something if we had clear water and if we had, was just everything was, we had people who wanted to help. We are in the swamp. It's muddy. It's nasty. It's infiltrated with infestation. It has bugs. It has leeches. This ain't gonna fly. It's good. It sounds good, but he's asking for everyone to urge everyone who is moved by the story of families like this lady who just became a citizen, Asma, and other like her, and by what you've read in this report, to work to expand the supply of affordable housing. I commend the NLIHC and its United for Homes campaign for supporting HR 948. Now, I think you guys should check that law that they're trying to pass, HR 948. It's not going to go anywhere. And if it does, I applaud it. But I'm so pessimistic now that, and I shouldn't be, but you see what we're dealing with. No matter what you do, you can't win. This is a man in the White House who will twist what you say if he doesn't like what you say. He's like Wicca, Wicca, just twisted. As a part of their efforts to ensure that every family has the affordable place to call home, the legislation would use savings from reforming the mortgage interest deduction to expand proven solutions to ending homelessness and housing poverty, like the National Housing Trust Fund, rental assistance, and other affordable housing investments. We must make sure that scarce resources are targeted to help those most in need of a safe and secure place to call home. I hope this is possible, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. I know, however, that in order to live in California, you have to make in order to live in California, you know what you have to make an hour? You have to, and just to rent a 2-bedroom rental home, you have to make $30.92 to rent a 2-bedroom in California. In Hawaii, you have to make $35.20. In Alaska, $24.16. The cheapest place I see to live, where you could live and have a 2-bedroom apartment, seems like Arkansas. It's at $13.72. But guess what though? Who wants to live in Arkansas? The cops will kill you. The white people will hang you. Really? So I got to move to Arkansas. You got to move to Arkansas. And then once you get there, they're going to raise everything. because they're going to say you coming to take their stuff, and they're going to rededicate the property so they could raise it up, and it's just crazy. Oklahoma is $14.78 an hour you have to make to live there. Who wants to live in Oklahoma? Tell me. Who wants to live there? It's really, really shocking. In New York, you have to make $28.08 an hour in order to get a 2-bedroom. In New York, it's a little bit cheaper than LA by $2. North Carolina, 15. Florida, you have to make $20.68 an hour. Puerto Rico is about the cheapest. It is the cheapest. In order to live in Puerto Rico, you could get away with living there with a 2-bedroom for $9.68. But look how they treated the Puerto Ricans at the hurricane. You know the reason why they did that? They're people of color. So I'm going to end my little commentation today. And hopefully we can see what's really going on. Take advantage of the different benefits that are out there for the renters that they have. And I don't even know. I would say, oh, get educated, because, you know, that's what they tell you. But you get educated and you still got to end up with a bullshit job that doesn't pay shit because you don't know the right people. You don't know the rich white man that could say, oh, forget about that. I'll come to my office. I'll help you. And you get a job that you're not qualified for, but you're making $100,000 a year. I don't know what to say other than we got to ride this storm out, because this man in the White House does not care about you. So stop spending your money trying to act like we could go out. No, I think what we should do is entertain at home, cook for each other, be there for each other. Stop the divisiveness between the light skin and the dark skin. Stop the divisiveness between if you're from Africa or the Caribbean, or if you're in America. We're all in the same shit bowl. So why are you trying to act better than me? I don't know. I guess that's a form of conditioning, because if they divide and conquer, they control. And that's the same shit they've been using. People use it all the time. Get smart, come together, form a block, vote about our best interests. Colored, I don't even want to say colored, people of color. Poor people of color unite. We are very smart. We just don't have money. Anyway, thank you for listening. And I will try to bring another article or another conversation piece. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe. Give me a chance. Let's talk. If there's some topics you want to talk about, let me know. I know this is kind of heavy talk, but everybody needs housing. That's why I want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the movie stars and their business. They got housing. But what about you? Do you have housing? Can you afford the housing you have? What do you have to sacrifice to live? I know it's heavy, but we need that conversation. So please subscribe, give me a like, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.